Hello guys, and welcome to our first workout Wednesday of the week. My name is Dennis Hekmati. I'm a performance coach, sports scientist, CEO and founder of Swimmer Strength, and I'm welcoming you guys to our new YouTube channel where every Wednesday we'll be bringing you a workout Wednesday of the week. And please comment below a workout you would like to see. This week we're starting with a complete bodyweight workout, strength. And strength means mass times acceleration. That's essentially force. However, we're not going to be doing too much acceleration today. We're going to do a lot of isometric holding, in which we're actually going to hold positions and stabilize and strengthen appropriately. I like that kind of strength. It's a good way to build base strength, especially now times where everybody has to reset their minds during this big epidemic and pandemic going on, that of being coronavirus. I hope you guys are all safe. I hope you are staying active and healthy and with your loved ones to stay inside and do whatever you can during these times, but still go out and exercise. Do what you can to stay fit, and I'm encouraging you guys to follow along here and do the best you can. Let's have fun. The warm-up that we're doing right now is a summary of the live session that we did on Sunday, and we're starting in a deep squat position. The reason I'm picking this is not only because I do this on a frequent basis, it's because so many swimmers are unable to get into this position. And if you are unable to, I'm encouraging you to do whatever you can in your power to improve this in the next few weeks and months. Spine needs to be super neutral. We need to keep the knees in line with our toes, and we don't want to relax the spine and the posture. Pressure in the feet has to be in the middle. It has to be evenly distributed, and I'm okay with us rocking and staying active in this position a little bit, depending on how advanced you are. But if you're again unable to, deep squat position is going to be important for you to figure out. Ankle rocks. We're manually rocking back and forth to increase our ability to point our toe upward. That's also called dorsiflexion. If we're really tight in our hips, the next exercise is a Spiderman-Pigeon stretch, and we're keeping this dynamic. Depending on how strong we are and how loose we are, our legs will come up different heights, but it's important that we step outside of our hand with our whole foot planted, going right into the pigeon stretch and then back out to the Spider-Man stretch. And this is gonna start warming up our hip flexors a lot. 10 to 20 reps each side. Couch stretch is important, and again, I want us to be moving dynamically and actively. We're looking for the pelvis here. We do not want to anteriorly tilt the pelvis forward. That's gonna take the tension away from the quads and potentially put the lower back at more of a risk. So make sure that the pelvis stays neutral, and we do that by squeezing our butt and keeping our abs engaged to then posteriorly tilt the pelvis to lock it in. Long cat camel against the wall. We're doing cat, we're doing camel to engage the abs and then the postural muscles. I like this against the wall because we're getting a lot more engagement from our spine and also loosening up tight lats. This should not be any pinching. If it is, push down against the wall a little bit more and be a little bit more cautious on how much you're pushing the end range. Thread the needle, where we are on one knee, extending the other leg out so the toe gets in line with the knee. We're going to straight arm plank on the ground. Keep both arms straight, reach in towards the straight leg and then rotate up. Prone, one arm external rotation, reach around. In this position, in the 90-90 position, external rotate the hand maximally, reach it forward, and then around until we get to the lower back and reach it as high as we can on the lower back and control the motion all the way out in front. Maintain an external rotated position to bring it back to the 90-90 degree and then down. And the reason I want to come back here is because we sometimes lose this external rotation as we go around, so be sure to maintain tension as much as you can. Now my hand is coming up very high in this external rotation. Swimmers are very limited here, so I'm encouraging you guys to just do the best you can while keeping your elbow on the ground without pushing the system too much, and then gently going off of where you might be. This is important if we do overhead work and to strengthen our system to be able to handle overhead kind of work. The last exercise for the warm-up is an all-inclusive inchworm sequence. And I want you guys to follow along here. And this is gonna be a tremendous warm-up. This is a workout itself, essentially, for many people. But hey, a regular inchworm is when we're walking out and walking back. But here we're gonna do a Spiderman stretch, a pigeon stretch, and then we're gonna do a shoulder tap. If you are advanced and strong, you can do push-up here. And then we're gonna do a downward dog toe touch. And the downward dog toe touch on the other side, move our way back. I like to finish this up into a deep squat position and then into a cook squat where we're lifting our arms up in the air and then standing up. After that, dynamically stretch the quads, the hamstrings, the hip flexors. They all need to stay active, and I'm encouraging you guys to flow through this sequence 2 times up to 5 times. And again, depending on how strong we are and how advanced you are, that itself might be a whole workout for you. Now, let's get started with the first block of work to get stronger. And we're mixing this one with a lower body push and upper body pull. The first exercise here is going to be a split squat hold, or an isometric split squat. I want us to put a little padding down on the ground, get our knee down where our front leg keeps the heel right underneath the knee with the bottom leg toe on the ground. And from here, we're punching through the ground with the front leg and just hovering the knee off the ground. And we're going to do this to an 8 RPE, rate of preceded exertion. If 10 is absolutely max, you cannot hold it anymore, that's how much we can hold today. I want you to be mindful here and hold it 2 knots underneath, so about an 8 RP, which is still plenty. And towards the end, it might get a little bit shaky, and that's fine. What we want to avoid here, though, is leaning forward. Avoid leaning forward, avoid elevating higher, and keep the neutral spine throughout this movement. Once we are done, gently come down. Now we'll rest 15 seconds and we'll flip over to our back, and we're just gonna pull our elbows down through the ground. However, important that you maintain a really long neck. Make sure that you are as tall as you can, elbows about a 45-degree angle from your body, and then gently start pushing down the ground and create pressure isometrically, and holding it and holding it and holding it for about 2 to 5 seconds and release. And then we're gonna do that twice, and then back down again and push and hold. And to make this harder, we can gently elevate our hips off the ground without arching the lower back. That is very important. Keep the spine neutral without arching the lower back. We're gonna repeat this 3 rounds. After the pulls, you rest about 30 seconds to 45 seconds, and then we go again. Block B is going to be a mix again. Now we're doing a lower body pull, upper body push. The first one is going to be a 1-leg elevated bridge hold. Here we're holding it for an RPE again to about an 8. And if this is easy for some swimmers, you can actually do some underwaters here. So pop your hip up, controlling it back down, and push down through the bottom of your foot. So if we're pointing the toe in a dorsey or a plantar flexion, it becomes a little bit more specific to when we are swimming. And after a few repetitions, I'm almost feeling like my calf and the backside of my knee and hamstrings are cramping, and that's when a good time for me to gently switch over to the other side. My right back has been a big issue, and doing this on the right side, I can tell, is working significantly harder than my left. And if you are a swimmer, we will be a little weaker on the hamstrings. Our posterior chain is not as strong as our quads. The second exercise is a pyramid. This is a push-up pyramid that I'm borrowing from a friend of mine, Luke Edgewell, out in Australia, where we are doing the pyramid from 3 or 4, 3, 2, down to a 1 with respective amount of seconds holding. I want you to regress here as you wish. A lot of us will be unable to do push-ups, so do incline push-ups the same exact fashion. Now, how do we do this? We do all repetitions, and after the last repetition, we're holding at the bottom. And you have to hold it and control and maintain as perfect of a technique as possible. Now the kicker here is towards the end, where we need to engage our glutes and our abs extra to maintain the spine completely flat. To keep a little ball, down so we can touch our chest is gonna be great, so we know that we're maintaining good range of motion and that we're not overdoing the range either. Okay, so I'm doing the first set here, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if it's not challenging, and if you think that still is easy, I'm encouraging you to then do 1, 2, 3, 4, and see how high you can go up. And as you can tell here on my last one, I made it up to 6. Next set is gonna be strictly lower body weight squats, 3 sets of 8 RPE. Here, you're resting about 30 seconds to 45 seconds, where you're just gonna be mindful of how you are feeling. Now, the only criteria on these squats, be slower on the way down than you are on your way up. I want you to focus on the eccentric portion more than you are on the concentric portion, or I suppose equal amount, because the faster you are standing up, the more powerful you're being. And this control is needed. Wherever your range allows you to, I want you to push the range. Full range is needed, especially if we are breaststrokers. The last set, let's finish with core. Block D, we have 4 fantastic exercises. We're doing a sit-up hold to an RPE 9, where we're looking at the spine staying completely neutral and flat. We're gonna go right into side V-ups. The regression here is gonna be side in and out. Also RPE 9 on each side. Let's keep working. D3, we're doing elbow bridge rolls on the first round. The second round, we'll do a straight arm bridge roll. Now, as we're rolling here, really important that we keep our hips maintained in a good spot, so we're not over opening up the hips, and that we're reaching up to the ceiling, so we're coming into one line from the shoulder down towards the other elbow and down to the other hand. Also RPE 9. Last one is going to be a little easier, where we're working actually on the posture. And if you are a hypermobile swimmer, this last exercise is not going to be too crazy for you. This is a prone upper extension, where we're extending both the thoracic and the cervical muscles, anything that is essentially postural, but we want to try to disengage the lower back. We do that by tilting our pelvis again, by squeezing our butt and then pushing our rib cage down so abs are engaged. So what you cannot tell here is that my abs and my glutes are highly engaged to keep my lower back from not overworking, because the higher you go here, the more the lower back is helping. And swimmers have really strong lower backs, but the middle back, the lower trapezius, they're not very strong. And another variation of this would be to put our hands in front of us to then help a little bit extra help and reach to find deep postural muscles. And that, guys, is going to be the workout. And now we will cool down. And the first thing to do is a child's pose. Stay active when you're doing the child's pose. Rock a little bit back and forth, and then go into an upward facing dog and repeat that at least 5 times. Flip over to your back. We're going to do rocks to hamstring spine stretches. Keep it dynamic, and as the cool down goes on, you can hold the stretch a little longer, but I still like the dynamic aspect of it because we are still flushing everything out. Now the last one, or last 2 we'll do here, are quad pulls on our belly. We'll just hold it here for 2 or 3 seconds, release, flush it out, pump it out, and then repeat again. About 5 on each side is gonna be perfect. And the last one we're gonna do here, Michael Phelps inspired, and a lot of coaches probably don't like me doing this. This is a leaning shoulder hyperextension, where we can see Michael Phelps being in his position before he starts his races and then going into big aggressive claps. A lot of coaches say this is an abnormal position for swimmers, that we should not do this, but again, Michael Phelps won 8 gold medals, and he was okay doing that on all of his events, which means that swimmers, guys, we have to be able to get into the position with no pain. If it's painful, don't do the stretch. We need to strengthen and figure out the integrity of the muscles. Guys, I hope that you guys enjoy this workout on Wednesday. It might have been a little longer than you thought, but I want to give you guys as much value as possible. And this is how a workout would look like. We mobilize, we properly warm up the system. We have a good belly of work where we mixed up both pushing and pulling for both lower and upper body today. We finished with essential squats and obviously core. And guys, do you know what the core is? The core is literally anything attached to your spine. So if I'm sitting like this telling you guys, is my core engaged? No. If I'm sitting like this, my core is much more engaged, so it's not just the abs and the lower back, literally anything attached to your spine. So when you're doing your planks and your bridges, pay extra attention. Next week, we're gonna do a band workout, little swim specific, and a lot of work that we can be creative and go above and beyond. Guys, this weekend, we're gonna go live to answer any questions that you have, so write them down, comment below on what you'd like to see in the future. Until then, stay healthy, stay strong.